Nonsia abwa pemu adeshima ma yema munyina adwo ema mu akwaba eba United Television so yo abeka jan hye house e won kan ka sebo ensa kan nonsia pemu e ofi omanyi mu amahodro so na bra so se yede esum na ka sebo no de bedi mu akutini bi ene se mampani na nado dan kokufo ado da tudwa ekirem se COVID-19 enura yatumi ebode bo ho ban no ayade a wodwendwen ho se anyebia ebe dan dia fa ho ana
enkran mantemu so afose COVID-19 asemi eyo manfo nyina asodie nti yenhwe na yenye monitoring ewo schools ahoro ni nyina emo
mampani da mahama ede letter commission court na ensama wodo bi anka mpesa anka umbisa eye letter commission no Supreme Court aboagu
edom kuma ewo mrahye bedwam se omampani nhwe se Presidential Transition Act no wode beye adwuma
na COVID-19 yare ya sede si edi Ghana manfo nyane nyasem kuma kwanti UTV yekogan East Municipal Hospital na yedifoni ene ensama wodo bi a doctor ne kan no ede beba
sanka mask she ebeye enhye mandatory no wo kire se aposifo bi ese wakasetia
sanso ena ebekọ America mamu wo kina ena Joe Biden yedin se adwamu ne emisa se Donald Trump me famoga nye swine wo beba anase wo ma weni sama do bebre ne de bram na seda ekwa special ice so man say nyina agya to mu this way chocolate drink ene the coffee drink best point service salons best assurance you too nchene need fufuo need abekwa nya prerekese wom Wamadaro manakasebo yede bremu ene enwumra kenkan fo yeso mu no eyeme Agya Kwabena mene
Obahima Afia Akyere Asiedu
Afia kasebo no emu ensem nie Mampani na nado dan kwakufo ado ede atodwa ekirem se wo hwe se de oman Ghana ne mesi eko na COVID-19 yare edi enya no a ayade a wona ban no ene ono ankasa esi ginan se wo mo hwe se enwumaku a wo mo ene eye sa vaccine a yede esa sa na se yetumi wo se na ba yare entumi enkonyi obi no wo besi hu ginan enemu ya na tumi aboa magana fo nso yetumi enya kwa hosan
New Year School and Conference no way neto so aduosomi no 72 eye na anu dwumadi omampanyi akufo ado abi ano ena wakire mu se ewiase nada wo hawpa no ani coronavirus no enti ese eme ye ni bre ni da won ye bo ye ho ban afesu Ghana abode mu nyansa perform scientists no omo sori nya adwuma no mu nya nhwemu mfanya adura ye betimi ade akon atia coronavirus no wo Ghana ha nempo no e betimi akọ amanone asemte da so ene se ye kan bo mu aye Ghana ye ebra ewiase wa
I've come here to provide you with details of the direction government has taken towards the realization of the theme and sub-theme of this year's New Year School. They are critical to the growth and development of our country. One lesson the pandemic has taught us is the need for us to be self-reliant and self-sufficient. It is essential that we continue on the path of ensuring that all the crucial sectors of our economy, such as agriculture, health, education, trade and industry, remain productive and vibrant. The recent upsurge in cases of COVID-19 infections tells us that the virus is very much with us, so we cannot afford to abandon the enhanced hygiene and safety protocols that ensure that we were faring much better than many other countries, including some well-advanced developed countries. If we do not adhere to these protocols, all the work that is being undertaken to build Ghana in the face of the global health crisis will fail. Through the advances of science, we now have vaccines which are already being administered in some countries that could help control and eventually end the pandemic. The committee formed by government to recommend the appropriate decision on COVID-19 vaccines has completed its work, enabling government to begin discussions with vaccine manufacturing companies with the goal of ordering the suitable doses of the vaccines for use in Ghana. Details of this will be announced very soon. As I said earlier on in my address, the pandemic has illustrated vividly the need for self-reliance in all areas of social and economic life. It is not beyond our scientists and pharmaceutical companies, whose knowledge and expertise cannot be questioned, to produce an indigenous or Ghanaian vaccine to combat the virus. They must be up and doing.
And crime mantem for Honorable Ishmael Ashite, what the atu dress COVID-19, Bambo won shensa prosifo, any empenyufo nyina de wani bedi echa ebeboa, enti Ghana Education Service awofo, any omanfo nyina nyi wa from de ese de beya, ye de okwade ni wa ebedi ye manachi e wo sukuu sahoro emu.
Bosome nkono eko edusu ena nkora no tenafie enam coronavirus no omampanyi amia bie school entibere nkora ne kono empenifo so de omani adi akire ekwa akohwe so mo de embra no eye adwuma fa coronavirus no ho a afi so masan makagifo no akwa abebere ambehye school ase enkramantem soafo no munyafo Ishmael Ashite eko school sawodro mu ewo enkran wasan so ade niema makagifo no hyo mu nkora ne se omonyino mu nsu ade na afi so omofa coronavirus mbra no enye adwuma.
Anywhere we go, even the small kids, all of them are in nose masks. If they continue to use the nose masks well and wash their hands very well, I don't think the distancing will be of any problem. I'm impressed of what we've seen across from the whole 3 municipalities that we visited. But it is up to the mothers also. So Afia, they have to look at them, make sure that they don't mix up with people randomly, go to places that they're not supposed to go. And they, the parents themselves, should also be observing those protocols. Na omunshe se debia nkwada no beche no sma omunsu omunshebi. That is the only way we can protect here.
Regional Education Director Mami Monica Ankra enso de futu MIC.
Monitoring say make us say yen ye wa he your groups be brown ya to mo ko other district e hwe de koso no mo de hunsunsanso ne brenga ni be hu ne wo se ye. Ti wo hwe Greater Accra ye schools ni bi wo ho a ye be mo run shift system. Wo hwe numbers na ye involved na se bia mo bro 40 a wo se ye chemu mienu na bi ba fia no pa no be no so nkosi dumienu no na o mo aka no so fi dumienu kosi no 9 na on apon na bi wo ho nso a o mo moro so ahe bia bi tin so ba ko bi so ti sumienu na mo mo ntam na se hwese betete ye ne sa ebeboa yen bebi wo nso na school bi wo na ebemben ho na nkora ne be se dube na classroom ba na bi aboro so wo be ebe yi won de won be ka de o musa no ho na yaye na bibia ye kama fi se teacher for kro na na e kire won ade nti sa hyehyɛ ye de gu apom no
ye ko Supreme Court na ni nyina ne se mampani dada His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Kyeresa ba yeto na fie twemu yi no ayade a enwiamu bi eba ye na se anko ye se de se control da koda Supreme Court se Supreme Court mpanyin fo hwe na wo mu enyi asamna no yemfa ema no na bra ko court no ekokoto odwa se NDC amayoko no na se mampani dada Mahama ene ne lawyer for epese electoral commissioner eyi nsem maku dumienu ayense misa dumienu bia no se de be ye a ho betumi hu no kra a ewo abato no sunsuanso eba ye no emu na bra woka sansam no ena owura Justin Amenuvo a ono eye lawyer ni edema electoral commission sudu tu dwa chiremu se sansam a na sense misa wodo a eye mampani Mahama ne lawyer ni owura Chikata ebeka ni nyina no wo de fa punachi no de awuramu enka questions o mka so bebisa no ntanya de betuma yiye ekọ na wiye no Supreme Court so due mu se sansam misa du menu de anya de a umbeyi ano.
My lords, there are other responses in the remaining paragraphs. I only comment on the one suggestion that we are unnecessarily attempting to delay the trial. Nothing could be farther from the truth. And we actually take exception to that suggestion and that averment in the affidavit. We take strong exception, in fact, I may say, to that suggestion that we are attempting. The purpose of discovery, as I've indicated, is to limit the matters for trial. And if only she would just stick to answering those interrogatories, I think the processes of this trial would be expedited rather than to make facetious statements about our intentions. We're therefore respectfully asking that your lordships grant us leave, and I believe that upon these interrogatories being filed, they can accelerate the processes for responses from the first respondent, and therefore for the further processes of this trial. That is all.
My lords, we are opposed to this application. Lords, we rely on all the depositions in our affidavit in opposition. Lords, with respect, the answers to the questions being sought are in the petitioner's own petition, the answer filed by the first respondent and also the answer filed by the second respondent.
If I understood counsel for the petitioner, you are not under any obligation whatsoever to answer any of the questions serialized in the document annexed to the affidavit.
Yes, my lord, and it is true that no specific interrogatory has been directed to the second respondent. However, we are an interested party in this matter, and if we can assist the court on legal issues, we think we should be permitted to do so.
Mr. Akutampa, if, as you rightly said, if it's a legal issue, if it's a question of law, we can hear you, because seriously you did not file any affidavit in regard to the facts.
Yes. That is what.
So, as a party in the petition and an interested party, if there's any legal point you want to address for the benefit of the court and all the parties, I think you can do so.
My lord, very briefly, my lord, I think the first point to make is that interrogatories must relate to matters in contention between the parties.
Subsequent statutory amendments pointed out after 2013 have provided us with new procedural regime and strict timelines. We are strictly bound to comply with CR 90, and therefore we will not apply Order 22 of CR 47 of 2004 in these circumstances. We accordingly refuse to grant the application, and same is accordingly dismissed.
We are grateful to the court.
I am most grateful.
Yes, please may I have your attention. Indeed, we set today. My lords,
Empanyifo mu da Ghana Education Service ano afi Ghana Health Service any UNICEF ma bomboden a akwa pro e wo school sahoro mu akohwe my first day at school a enkodai koye ene se de niema city efa
enra ye ni se omonfa nsiesie babia school mu tinene yesi ye ba na ye behwe se de ha school mu city de di kan kwa no kola na afi kwa no mba school foforo no ane be ma kwa ba na fi nsi ahwe ahomboa ne nhyesie a school na ya they jin kwala na aka nyina aba school. So far they so good. Reports from the other regions and this was said your schools ni nyina na omsaka on PPEs ni nyina enti eno ne ade high but they gidi say enche omsabeka dem de besra wofo no say sabre ya kwala no free fie na eco school no de omso mmoa kakra ompe kakra ma ko say abandie beba na enche kura ye show biabo abandie beba na de ama omo
school say akon dey hu say enkwala no omo hyehyɛ mask a omo ye amadwuma omo dey tena school teacher for no so ya ma omo ntete better some omo ntete say obi ta bon kwala no ho ban ama covid protocols omo be so ana dey ba kon so a health service here ne say na munim no be since be mfie mi nsani na ne mfie de bia kwala ba fofora ye omo medical screening she number 1 there say yare bi ono ho e ma ntimi nsua de enti checking ani external say ne hearing be ni nyina ye wi nso a hwe omodi dem nutritional status omo ye okay omo dwunam Omo fully immunized. Omo pani obonya say be oba on fire be me kwara any nyina. Na ochi the whole country yeah. Every subject is doing it say be ya. You be make sure say kwara so omo yare bia no omo hia say omo vaccinate omo.
Yekoye so very no buckets GS are provided through our partners nyina so around. Yes ye buy and ye bi ababio. UNICEF boy ma ye de check temperature no. Ye ja to ma KG teachers in se ne be ya no pa bia no nkora ne be bramu bia no o betimi a check wo temperature hu se abofra no ba ne ho ohia na te ne ho nye hye na apomdin ahwefo na o mo ben wo mo no o metimi ama o maswate ye sign de sanitizer ebre wo mo. Of course, or mobile school. Into the Nkola slates, book home betro, pencil, eraser. Ye didn't in our body, a man colano. Into I any just a mamma, Kakaya behudie, ye niaso.
We're very happy to see that this decision was made to prioritize education for children. As you know, it's been 10 months now that around 9.2 million children at the peak of the pandemic have been missing out on education. Globally, also you have 1.6 billion children that have been, not learning as you're learning when you are in a classroom. So we're happy and we're supporting the government with the school reopening because we feel that it's critical for children to interact with their teachers and with their peers.
Wasa jumade kroye mu no na okota manso a abanka cheho onunyafo Felix ni ananla enso da tudwa chirim se hihya hodo a ye de agu wo se na be ankoda no yarebo na ye bi ntumi koka wo no ayade eso ani ye pa
Empenyisi de waka no esuoso coronavirus na badi di kan de toso mienu di mu edin na eso ye be ne den koda na so mukokosua de aban abie schools ahodo no say enkoda no enkom entimensi kropon assembly bakra chimpenifo do mani di akire ehwe se emra ne hyehye eye adwuma edi afa coronavirus no ho abankra chimpenyi ede ematema ono so akọ schools ahodo no mpesua no so akohwe sania emra no ne hyehye esi etie wo chanie ma bi te say nose masks books pencils ene ne mahodo Edema school kudano show munkra ne say omunyo munsu ade na face coronavirus protocols ahodo no omofanye adwuma.
The major concern for us is the COVID-19 issues where, as you can see, the teachers have really taken care of the children, and we have also been there to top up with the nose masks. We have a little problem with social distancing, but it's because of inadequate chairs and tables, which the assembly has taken note of. But so far, so good. Where that the children are happy, they are back to school, they are happy with the gift they are receiving from the assembly and the school authorities that will take them to another weeks before maybe their parents get settled. And we interacting with the parents. We have also had a few issues they raise. They have seen that most of the school fence wall is ongoing, and they have not received their share. So they make a passionate appeal to have their fence wall fixed, which is already in the plan.
Benis Ofori na yakwanche for penyin ohwe ngumesua so ewotema. Wani UTV edi enkomosi.
We have also supplied some quantities of PPEs which they will be using. So they will also look at the social distancing and then adhere to it properly. So at least everybody will be safe in the school. Then we have realized that the numbers are not too encouraging. So we embark on the back to school campaign to make sure all those who are lingering in the house will know we are serious and we are in school and all is safe. So they will also come. So far, these are some of the things we are planning we will be doing. For the SHS to do similarly, we will encourage the children to come back to school. If you are a girl and for one reason or the other you find yourself in a condition which you think you cannot come to school, we will encourage you to come. And they will give you all the support you need to complete the school. We have the girls coordinators trained to take up and the guidance counselors to take up such issues. So they will be supported.
Yako Ghana mrashebedwem na edom kuma e mrashebedwem he de ato edwa se wo mo ka mo mampanyin ate asese na daroma wo mo modin se Presidential Transition Act no obetumi edi so pepepe se de Ghana emra ehye no.
The matter in issue is the Presidential Transition Act of 2012, Act 865. As many of you are aware, after an election, some responsibilities and duties are placed on the incoming president, or call him the president-elect, that are germane for the general governance of this country. You recall that pursuant to Section 1 of the Presidential Transition Act 2012, Act 845, matters relating to it and whether or not the president is complying with the provisions of the Presidential Transition Act, Act 845, or is in breach of it, and to remind the president of the provisions of Article 58 of the Constitution, where he has a mandate to enforce the laws of Ghana. Section 6 of the Presidential Transition Act, Act 845, requires that the government prepares handing over notes 30 days to the presidential elections. Whether this has been complied with, I am in doubt. Section 7 of Act 845 requires the Administrator General. Does any of you know who has been appointed the Administrator General? I leave it to you. As we speak today, Parliament has no such record, official and formal, in its possession of any handing over note from any ministry, department or agency as required under Section 7 of Act 845. That is in breach, and that is not responsible enough for a government that must be accountable to the people of Ghana and to the Parliament of Ghana. So we are demanding respect to the letter and spirit of Act 845, that all handing over notes of ministries, departments and agencies are made available to Parliament. That, I believe, will be helping our work as an institution that exercises oversight.
Adeshimama ye kamu se UTV no nsiampa mukasebo ana muhwemada woroma mo ye twa nkoto nkreba ye beto aso. Adeshimama ye dama sese munya bre atwan yen ye kasebo no ye to aso.
Yet also the Ghana Education Service in Penyufo had the Womujuma my first day at school no enunti Woma anam so man Mantemu Directorate of the Ghana Education Service or Mabomodia haye ncheche fiko had the ama addition for after COVID-19
My first day at school no enjehye mpendifo ye edima enkoda kwa abade ba school mankanka ne KG4 no afi we said ye nenam coronavirus nintino omo anhyeda anya no kese na futu ye ko ye dema enkoda ne sai omo hwemu nose mask omo hro omo sana face social distancing enye adwuma aye waso west abikra chipenyi onwenya for Sandro usu ahenkra ekojolu special school no mu ene enkoda kwakasa ye
enti parents na mo wo fia mo mama atena fie no I'm advising you, the environment is safe. Are you very safe? Protocols now, your president, they are to one. Ye diso, ye bois, into obey best school, one send a nose mask. Now, the environment is very safe for the children.
Headmaster Edima Jolu Special School no and so the same say to jam.
The Meta catch up from there. Yaban's or protocols be there, what you do, be one can't show one, the ones you do. So, what you do? Yaban or home, no. Wombano, we now be able to find COVID-19 on calendar. More first will be in shame. School. What if you check? mo suaze mo da achinti
Waga East Mercy Kupon Assembly num Abakra Chipenyi Maami Tulas Mesa ensu ko school sahudo ni modern semse etudwa headmistress Edimanima 1 basic school no so ekasaye.
For the maths is not enough because children as they are every day or every second it can get missing. Some they will not even wash it, they will just dump it and they need a new one. So if corporate institutions, NGOs and any other institution could help by providing the masks often, it will be of an advantage to us, as well as the sanitizers. The government has provided some, but it's just not enough.
Dr. Charity Sapon eye kwanchefo pain of shop muden so ewo enkran wasi coronavirus war mo nesu penifo ede ne mapa egu akwan mu ebebo nkora ne ho ban
ye ne achechefo no so edi ahia ya ma wa futuo say tem bia breni bia romni nkola ne hia omumma omunti ase say omu aye die ene oman ni nyina aye die omu maami omu papa aye die muntina ye nyina aye hwehwe mask no eti chechefo no so amai ahye ye mbo say afina nkola na be school edi omu so start edi omu fasa anchechire no mu na omu ogidie say achekra be di be se bo so ye beba no ye be hu bibi foforo say omu o break omu o classroom omu be show omu mask.
Said ye mampeni ehye se police for nsore waka na womo a yede niama katakata ya no a ya hye se yenye womo nye no yenche womo na tesa no police for de o man na so kra sisi woni abrede nene wansha ye bechew na pani oda o ma no chief superintendent Oduramani ene driver fo bi no mo ne womo a 1990 obi a ye hwe se ye chichi womo ne ndom di nkom no ensem ni bi nie
Sunday no president kasaye no ye nyina ye tell clearly say yare no asan mani muso anase amani muso enunti no nose mask wearing no should be mandatory to said the tie no obeka se nkrofo ani apaso anase won ejai nose mask no eyusu enso emra emre bi na ye enforce obi eyusu nose mask no ye hu se ebre yare na se emaye enti for our own good no na se yes, I enforce wearing of the nose mask and na afi se bibi nimpo at least na minimize yare no emaye se yare no eni enkran hanko a I think say so far no out of the 16 regions no 13 regions but I nempo mintumi say others no so anya enu ntinu ba bia wo bia no a nationwide exercise ayeye na sese no ye de bo wo mokoko enti sabre na ye guso a ya hyase sei no afei ebe kakra no se won sha na se wa hyeda ana se won hye enti wo pese ne ye de be ye no ye mfanye wo ye nso ye de be ye wo se wa hwa exercise no krampo ye no bebre na wo ho a se afei na aye ni bresam so na esre se obe hunu se onhye nose mask obe chi no pepepe no ada so obe ye fini botuma na obe ye firi ne bag m enti you could see say ye deliberate obi wo ho a ye nida ho na ye no se onhye sha na onhye nanso se wonhye a ye be force wa mo wa fi se you are within the society enye wonko ana wote ti se politicians here wo kan ya se enti ye hunu no onhye bia ye betumi ye be chi no but wo mo so wo mo hye obi kura mpo de ye box obehwa private cars no ne ade no obi wo ne box anase ayine ne si ne nchen enti oya enti wotena mu of my left krempo no na se wuni bia otumi yi bi ma wo e ma wo de hye enti nye se ahiafo nko ana yegu wo so se wo mo nko hye nose mask the best arrest so far we will give that civilian award if you've been able to arrest a policeman without nose mask in town and he rather is checking people to wear nose mask you will see something. It will be a record.
It's either you learn how to breathe in these nose masks and I say be breathe or coughing mu. However it is, no, just wear it and be safe because till we have a vaccine that can be injected into you. Don't risk it.
No be. Go some okay me do say me ho. And me just say me say come me ho say me ho ya fi me ta. Let me get on say. And me ti bu ka fa me be gina ha. Abro be gina. let me challenge us here. Oh, Massa, who interview be listen. Who interview be many banya where some record. Now we tell this what is that? Me tell us me show say. Can no say me back those but if you sit shop na ba feel me see can mu me she. Can on it. But who interview na no no ya na me forget na feel about interview. I don't know news I am me na the news.
Yegusu adikaseboy emam na achechefo bi omwo enkran mantam emom ade ade sede ato awofo ne arefo anim se covid-19 wo da oboyi a wasese awofo mwa wo ma chechefo na wontumi ema wo ma no ban ema wo mo
enkola no nzuzu omo bayi papa enra esewani kaka ne ebu esku bi aba na wotwekra no bi maaye oze ma me de me ko ni krom ena ye kwa ye ye mai 2 weeks ansa waba be me catch us enra metumi aka say about 98% eba aba school omu nyina wa ba dia ye pese ye sra wofo ne say ye be frɛ won ye frɛ mo omo mra won mo amma ye ne omienu ena se say ye de ye hwɛ ne ye hwɛ masa adwumadie ekoso omo nkan wa enye yie enti ye frɛ omo a omo mra ne ntrom ne ma bi no omo nti ase omo ti ase a ena nkola na ba ombenya adwenfan so de ayede aba aban ama ye bi de bet enya da na ban de ne saa etisa wofo no to ti ase da ban de ni ho no na omo so masom na ayeye
ye chichafo no ye kosoara ye encourage wom ema omo hye omo max na nia yesre awofo no so se still ye gusu ye no na omo ye bi because ye nyina ye bom na ye educate wom about covid na ena ye betumi edi covid no so enkomi
awofo no so ayade mo hwe se mo fra no bia e wo de hand sanitizer obia hye ni nose mask kama na omba school no so na chechefo na titi omumu adehwe so koso nti yankasa so ye ni age so ye ni you say here other nema bi to say learning resources and your covid near man kwa nti ya na mabedum ye no so aka ho na ma de kire no so akoso pepepe
ye da wofo ase so mde mofra no abreye si ye nkire won ade na afi adesua enkoso ifisese ya nkire mofra ade a wo mu da achi no enye yie de wo mu ye ne fie no eno ana wo de be school enti bra ye kire wo mu se wo mu hohoro wo mu nsa yie wo mu hye wo mu nose mask ne ade e be se fie so wo mu nye ema mofra ne hu se de be ye wo mu be school a omu be koso aye teacher for de be ye famo de enso ye sawo for ne se omu mboa omu ba omu ma mofra na aduane ni omu hwe medua mofra ni di kama omu pake aduane nhye wo omu bags mu ma won se be ye mbo omu ma menante basa
yenim se aban na ye na famo de yenim se awofo aye wo ma famo de akyerɛkyerɛfo nso ye na bebre na ejina ye nso enso ye pese ye hye wo mbo na ye ka kire ye nua akyerɛkyerɛfo no nso se memo on abamumu efise ne ayeye no eno na mofra no ebehwe enu nti mofra yiye ko ka wo mayi wo mask wo maye sei se ye koso agina na ye ne esese ye se ye nso ye hye ye de a mofra no behye wo mo de
they are responding very well enti ne me kan say ye koso na ye hye ye nose mask ye encourage omo na wo show mo nose mask no se na be ya ye nya as casualty bia teachers no susu me kan say omo susu omo koso no mo hye na wo encourage nkwala no
COVID-19 yare se na sama ne homene so to UTV ye Kogan East Municipal Hospital ekwohwe se na tibia ne city ne nya kwan ene Dr. Ebenezer Oduro Mensa o medical director twetwe nkomo ama ne chenchense hudu bi mu na achi nso no ye ko ward ekwohwe wo ma anya yare no ebifo ne edu ba bi a ana ahomete kakra se de nyina enim COVID-19 yare ba ye no akame so manga na yeso enyi enti didi mu ye huna mane pa kwese de twem ye mampani ene ye kasai e de fa ho ma ye hu de se yare no ekosora enya se mukuma kra na akokoya se mihia se etumi tu hona mo se de be ya betumi ahwe sanye bia ayaresa bia hodo a o ma na yidi asi wo so betumi ahwe no maboa ma yare betumi atususa no aso ma ho bo atesen ne ma ekosen o mu huna mane de o mu hia o be ya dwuma so tumi e kana nyakopon do yabaga east yaba BP ha ene medical superintendent edema Ga East Municipal Hospital Dr. Ebenezer Drew mensa ni nkomo kakra mfa hye nema ekose dok we de ye de wase piece wo nyabre e de ama yen yare hye ase no yenim se moye ho adwuma sisi de toso mienu aba ntem tesan ewa
be free January mudie numbers are eba de bian ekosro etola ka be 10 in a day dodo na ehare dodo na ehia inframa e friend oxygen ye dey support omo ebinum so ahwemo nkwa from covid nti emu eheden your hospital has 90 beds for in pain for during COVID no call from no now on the average there will be 15 admission at a time. See on the number 30s on the average we have about 60 patients admission. You move 30 to 40 at any point in time no and a year power here treatment and also you that oxygen also. Now, yes, senior president can no yan ahwe a bebore so a be overwhelming. I didn't na make us now your emergency room, for example, you have 12 beds. Now you can't cover about 2020 crown, not 12 beds in Punu, not entire Enyama. And now me know say you have 29 patients away emergency. Not just you have more than double emergency beds. Ya kwaje other wards at the Honsa emergency account. Patients in Yano of that oxygen eso. Ya HDU or mom yare pa edano. That is next to ICU. First now 2-3 patients na wahonum. Omumpona omu yakakra. Sisi and they are very critical patients at daho. Omuwo machine be friend CPAP so home momo. Esansi en fa omo to nyanto ventilator so nto hwa yare no epejanimu emu eyeden ehia se infection prevention yema o man penyika ho asema yaka aka nyina ebedi so enye sa ebia na wo ahoden na so maame unu ebia sabio ebia won diabetes ne hypertension bi otini baby ana abekwa akosra no e de akoma no na ono afemu ahwe ne nkwa nti ebihia se nyina ebe ahwe
Yansha staffing adwumayefo amoye adwuma wa ha na fe PP samodi ye adwuma na nye bia wo ho a betumi nya rehye mu se obaga east nkwa de adwumayefo na ekra de so mbeje wana
a staffing situation no create staff na bom ho modern it's from last year makwa besi CC with the emergency room situation here example from 12 bed to 29 there's also staff na are overstretched. Just last week in Kwabena, the regional director Ebom yare call it staff be no more baby. So munyirambra embambe boy na just intimate cause staff no Ghana services so I post more doctors and nurses abre. It's say baby during the day. Ya regular staff no kwa intimate ensu inti enya support. Kolebun so at the critical care staff ba Ghana Infectious Disease Center honum. Because also as ebia almost ehwe nkofo no mo so be support wo sa no omom ye very critical no he betimi adwoma ko for additional care. The staffing situation improve ba ye can logistics and so national isolation center, national treatment center anti aban logistics PPs no yobi rani out na ye request ya prepi ni yen saka but enye PPs in kwane de show nkofo mu da ha no omudidi on the average one day cry 7 days do na 10 to 14 days omuda hase join that period ombedidi ombenu toiletries ni nyina edan so intino yesra mindful say yes mun yenya PPE abeboy na so beyond PPE no ye hianduane mu angwa ba ire ni ambe nya bi abetim dia beboy bi abetim dia ba ye hian so ye hian toiletries tissue toilet roll toothpaste toothbrush maybe ba mun kita bibia ya na esi provide sa enyeme nyina so abetim aboy
ade ba ko hu hia sum ka wasam ne se esese encourage to me ba motivation ade hu hia ye pa anti motivation e ba
ya ka 50% no so anu kreni na o man panyaka nim so man panyi aka de ebebem ya train am say ya train check kakra nti Oho de embae na yes so my penny beka na aba esan say staff dodo na ni da so dodo na de your plan since July yeah planned since July the best 6 months in your train says 50% na buy I promise say beba ehun krata nyina yaye almost here fan quantity so submissions ni nyina nti train your train say ebeba nunti ebi my demoralize mo ebi my demotivated for say ni nyina your politics are buy on this but your real shame say nana president can dey obehwe ayi hu bibia maye
Afia ne besam yare no obi didi abra yare no wo so wonfa wani hu da na baka se bia mo bia mfa ni agwe sanse de ye de ani ehu na dai no
nipa mobo
ehu pa foni bi wo ye ntumi ehu pa nti en kwa ho me
eja yenyina we isu na ahwefo madaroma yenye nkratoe emra ye basisi a